It was a cold, clear night in late December, just 2 days before Christmas. In a small, cozy house on Mistletoe Lane lived a young boy named Isaac, who was 9 years old and believed in the magic of Christmas with all his heart. This year, Isaac had a very important task: writing his annual letter to Santa Claus. He sat at the kitchen table, a fresh piece of paper before him, his brow furrowed in concentration. He chewed on the end of his pencil, thinking hard about his wishes. Finally, he began to write in his neatest handwriting. "Dear Santa, my name is Isaac, and I have been a very good boy this year. For Christmas, I would really like a new red sled for the snow that finally arrived, and maybe some new building blocks. I'll leave you some milk and cookies by the fireplace. Thank you, and Merry Christmas, Isaac." He folded the letter carefully, slipped it into an envelope addressed simply to Santa Claus, the North Pole, and had his dad mail it the next morning. The anticipation of Christmas Eve was almost too much to bear. Isaac went to bed early, his dreams filled with reindeer and sleigh bells. Hours later, the moon was high in the sky. High above the sleeping town, a magnificent sleigh, pulled by 8 powerful reindeer led by the glowing nose of Rudolph, landed softly on the shingled roof of Isaac's house. Santa Claus, with his big red coat and a sack full of toys, emerged from the sleigh. He checked his list twice, chuckled to himself, and carefully climbed down the wide brick kitchen chimney. He landed with a soft whoosh on the hearth, dusting a bit of soot off his jolly red suit. The first thing he noticed was the plate of cookies and a glass of milk, exactly as Isaac had promised. Santa smiled and took a hearty bite. He found Isaac's letter lying neatly on the mantel. Santa knew what the boy wanted, but reading the letter always brought a special warmth to his heart. He reached into his sack and pulled out the shiny new red sled and a large box of building blocks. But as he placed them under the twinkling Christmas tree, he remembered something else. He remembered the boy's unwavering belief and the kindness he showed his friends. Santa decided a little extra magic was in order. He reached deep into his sack again and pulled out a beautifully wrapped extra gift, a detailed model train set that chugged and whistled all on its own. "Every good boy deserves a little extra surprise," Santa whispered to the silent room. With the presents arranged perfectly and the milk and cookies gone, Santa climbed back up the chimney. Back on the roof, he gave a final check of his sleigh, settled into his seat, and with a flick of the reins shouted, "Ho ho ho, let's go! On Cupid!" The sleigh shot off into the starry night sky. The next morning, Isaac woke up to the smell of pine needles and the sound of carols playing downstairs. He scrambled out of bed and ran down the stairs, his heart pounding. When he saw the presents under the tree, his eyes grew wide with delight. There was the red sled, the building blocks, and then his gaze fell upon the extra gift. A wonderful model train set. "Mom, Dad, Santa brought extra presents," he exclaimed, the joy in his voice echoing through the house. Isaac knew then, more than ever, that the magic of Christmas was real, and that a little bit of extra kindness and belief went a very long way. It was the best Christmas morning he had ever had, filled with toys, laughter, and the undeniable magic of a visit from Santa Claus himself.